Frank, you ready to go?
Yep.
Okay, we're ready when you're ready.
All right, Mike Trudeau.
Hey, Frank, defensively, you had slowed them down after that first quarter. What did you see in the second half offensively, especially in the fourth quarter? It seemed like shots just weren't falling, especially from three. You know what? Sorry, guys, we're not getting audio back, I don't think, from Frank. Yep.
All right, Mike, you want to continue?
Sure, Frank, just to reiterate, was asking about the offense, especially in the fourth quarter, 1 for 13 from three, and the defense up to that point seemed like it had evolved from that first quarter.
Yeah, I did think that our defense, turned up the heat a little bit throughout the three quarters. We knew that the first quarter was not what we wanted or what we're capable of. In the fourth quarter, we held them 15 points, which should be enough to win. But, obviously they're a 5 in the paint swarm team. You have to play extra pass basketball. I thought we generated a lot of good looks in the fourth quarter, just weren't able to knock them down. But there's certainly, I'm sure there's ways we can execute better as well. We'll look at the tape and find ways where we can be better.
Frank, you had mentioned wanting to get more looks from three, and you certainly did that tonight. What was the shift there, and how much of that was with how Miami was playing?
It's a combination. Like I said, we've been hesitant, I feel, over the last few games from the 3-point line. So there was an encouragement piece to that. But also, like I said, this team's number one in points in the paint. They take that away and they make you beat them over the top. And if you're knocking down shots, you're going to have a great night against this team. But if you're not, it's going to be a long night.
And then just wondered what you were looking for on that play where Wes ends up taking the wing three, and what the options were there.
Yeah, well, we're looking to get Braun open. But two guys went with Braun. Wes got open, had a good look. Wasn't able to knock it down, but that's a shot we'll take.
Dave.
Here I am. Yeah, I'm here, Frank. The sequence at the end there where LeBron got the steal and found Alex on the wing. What did you make of what was available and the look that you guys got to try to force overtime? Jeez. Final sequence.
Yeah, we knew they were gonna try to get it to Butler. He's their best free throw shooter, so we started with somebody on the ball, but dropped off to double team and try to double team deny him. We're able to force a turnover. It creates a scramble situation. I have to look at the tape to see what else may have been available, but I thought we got a pretty clean look. A chance to win the game, just didn't fall.
Dan.
Frank, you've said repeatedly that you believe that this team has enough firepower to win with Dennis and AD down. Do you see teams guarding you in a way sort of to test that, the double teams that are coming at LeBron and trying to force the ball other places?
No, I mean, I think they're able to shift matchups, more than bring extra double teams. I mean, if you bring double teams to LeBron, he's the best in the world at picking that apart and finding open men. But not having Dennis and in particular AD allows them to shift some matchups around. I think that's what we're seeing more. But our coaching staff will.
Thanks for asking. All right, Tanisha, hello, we are here.
Yes, we're gonna start off with Mike Trudell.
Hey, Kentavious, you managed to hit the 1-3 in the fourth quarter, and it just seemed like the ball wasn't going in. Have you seen anything collectively over these last couple games or a couple of weeks for the team from a shooting standpoint, and how did that correlate tonight in the fourth quarter?
I mean, down the stretch, I feel like we just not being patient enough. We're trying to force a lot of things, even jumpers at that, to just try to either get even or get in the lead. I feel like we're not really just towards the end of the game. We're not playing Lakers basketball like we normally do.
How have you felt just individually from a fatigue standpoint, mentally, physically, after the whole season and the pandemic and the bubble, and how do you feel at this point?
I mean, I feel great. A little fatigue here and there, but it's all about just managing my body. Being prepared to get my treatment. Making sure I stay ready. But just this way the season going, and then the way it went last year. It's a lot. It's all about just managing the body.
Dan?
KCP, what's it going to take for you guys to manage this stretch without AD and Dennis to kind of survive it without two starters?
This is next man up mentality. We had that last year, and we gotta pick it up this year. Them two guys, AD and Dennis, is big key to our offense. And to this organization. So I mean, just gotta be the next man up, man. We can't let that slack off. I feel like the last couple of games that's been happening. Putting a lot on Bron. We already know what we're gonna get out of him. So all the rest of us, we got to continue to just play hard and just play basketball. I'm not worried about anything else.
Dave?
Kentavious, you mentioned that you guys are putting a lot on LeBron. Is that can that be explained of how you look at the way that Wes reacted to missing that three, and Alex, that it's not just want to do it for yourself to make the shot, but you feel like maybe you're letting LeBron down, letting the team down if you miss shots and those opportunities?
I feel like that's every shooter. Now, that's even if I would have missed a shot, I would have felt the same way as Wes and AC felt. But it's not. We don't feel that way, But it just we try to help them out as much as possible, And we want to do it as I would say as perfect as possible as we can to try to help him out. We try not to make too much mistakes when we're on the floor with him or even running the play with him. Just to give him some help. We do ask Bron for a lot. He give us a lot each and every game. It's up to us as far as like role players and next man up mentality. We just gotta be ready and locked in.
Last two, Kyle?
The KCP. When you look at Thursday's game, Brooklyn gets up by a huge lead and they kind of run away with it. Today, Miami's up by 15 points. You guys are able to kind of claw back, get the lead at one point, and almost win the game. What changed about your mental approach between those 2 days?
Just our mindset as far as like we don't lose two in a row. We always carried that last year. It's the same thing this year. We wanted to come out with great energy. I know we came out flat in the game against Brooklyn. But we wanted to just come out strong. I mean, I feel like we came out flat tonight as well. It's always like usually the first quarter, and then we playing catch up from there. I feel like that's one thing we got to change. Our energy to start the game and our effort.
Jovan?
Hey, KCP, with the loss tonight, you guys dropped to the 3 seed. I'm curious at this point in the season, is there any concern over seeding and how important is seeding, I guess 30 games in?
I feel like we don't look at it. We know we want to be number one in the West. We are, defending champs. That's our mindset and our motivation. We still want to be number one in the West. But, for us, we just about winning. No matter what seed we are, We just want to win, make the playoffs, postseason, and just be ready for, to defend the title.
Kenny, we have one follow-up from Dan Wyke.
Hey, KCB, real quick, you said a couple times about, you guys ask a lot to do a lot from LeBron. With AD, obviously that ask goes up. How concerning is that, just kind of knowing that you're going to need him to be as fresh as possible this season?
Yeah, we know AD is one of our second superstar. We know we need his play, his motivation. Just him being out there, is a lot. Means a lot to the players and stuff. But that take a lot of slack off Bron when AD is in. Now you got to pay attention to him or LeBron or AD. And then that opens up for the role players. But when one of them guys is out, it's we as role player we got to step up. We got to be ready. To shoot the ball. Including myself. I've been struggling a little bit with that. You got to be ready to shoot, make plays. And just play simple basketball when we are helping them guys out.
Thanks so much, Kenny. Have a good evening.
All right, you too. Thank y'all.
All right.
Thank you.
Mike Trudell.
Hey, Alex, could you take us through the last play, the inbounds pass, and then you and LeBron joining forces on Butler and the play that ensued?
Yeah, they took it out with about 8 seconds left. Knew they were going to try and, get a screen for a switch with Jimmy and Bam and have Jimmy roll back because he's their clutch guy. He's been just made a couple free throws too. So I tried to shadow him, and then Bron made a great play on the ball to anticipate, tap it out, and then I brought it down. And 3 guys on the left, saw Bron on the right, tried to set it up, go left, and then give it to him, and then get out of his way. And I think I accidentally brought in extra help instead of probably cutting to the opposite side. He made the right play, had 2 guys on him. I was probably a little caught off guard because I was expecting them to stay with me and go one-on-one with Bron, so I was a little late to get ready, and then just missed the shot short.
Yeah, Alex, it was one of many misses in the fourth for you guys from 3 especially. Does that kind of thing build on itself? Is there some other way to look at it? And how did you feel about the shot quality on all those looks?
It didn't stand out to me, so I guess it's not anything crazy. No, I mean we're figuring out how to play without one of our creators in Dennis and one of our stars in AD. That's going to take a little time, and obviously we don't have practice time, so we worked on it a little yesterday, scripting and figuring out how to play. And I think we at times played really good offense tonight. Got open shots and guys were aggressive. So, that's all you can really ask for. The shots are going to go in eventually. It's a law of averages. We put in the reps, they're going to go in. So just staying steadfast with the work and believing that what we're doing is right.
Dave.
Alex, KCP said that during this time in particular with AD being out, you guys as teammates don't want to put too much on LeBron. He can do it, but there's a feeling like we don't want to, bear him with that entire load. Is that something you guys have spoken about? And how do you guys go about managing that during this time with no AD?
Yeah, that's obviously a conscious thing. I mean, LeBron's the best player on our team, and night in, night out, he gets the attention he does because he is. And, like I said, with the guys we got out, teams are going to load up against him, and he's, great basketball mind and going to do his part to get guys open and make right plays. Like I said, it's just about us, in that second unit, especially just finding our groove offensively, playing within each other and moving the basketball and finding easy shots, trying to get guys shots that they're used to. And that's really all there is to it. I don't think there's any golden ticket idea or something like that that's going to save us. It's just about being efficient, right? It's about finding the opportunities. If you're open, you shoot it. If you're not, you make a play for somebody else. And I think if we do that correctly, more times than not, it's going to be good for us.
Dan.
I'm sorry, Alex, the margins for you guys obviously are much slimmer when AD's not out there, but the amount of layups you guys gave up in the first half, how disappointing?
Something popped up on the screen. Hold on.
Oh, sorry.
He's there. Is he there?
Yeah. Okay, there we go.
Yeah,
I minimized it. Tech savvy. Come on.
How I I guess just the amount of layups that you guys gave up in this game, especially in the first half. How tough is it to win when that's kind of happening, and why do you think it was such an issue early?
Yeah, the offense they run is really hard to guard. You know, it's a bunch of off the ball action, and they're live cutters and live slippers, and we didn't do a great job of that early. So that's probably why they got so many layups. But you know, it's just about locking into the game plan. I think we showed great resolve in the second half and came out of the second or third quarter and, you know, got off to a great start. And then fourth quarter down the stretch, got stops when we needed to. So I don't know how many points they ended up with, but I mean, it wasn't a ton of points. So I don't think defensively was really the issue too much tonight.
Last question, Kyle.
Hey, Alex, you brought up the second unit and sort of the need to find that groove, especially in those non-LeBron minutes now that Dennis isn't available. You know, what do you kind of find that you have to do in your role where you're on the ball a little more, being more of a distributor? What are you kind of feeling you need to do more efficiently in that particular role?
Yeah, just doing that, you know, getting guys in the right spots, putting us in sets and putting us in opportunities to have success. I know what guys are good at. No different sets that we can get to. It's just about me, you know, possession after possession, making sure that we're in the right spots, we're in the right stuff.
Thanks so much, AC.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, LeBron. Okay, whenever you are ready, LeBron. Where is he? All right, Tanisha, whenever you are ready.
Okay, as long, let's go with Dave. I'm sorry, Mike. Mike.
It's all good. Hey, LeBron, what stood out the most to you in the fourth quarter, especially just with this shots not falling and the way that you guys were generating looks against Miami's D?
We got some great looks and they didn't fall. You just said it. I think defensively we were very good, very in tune, connected. Shots just weren't falling in the fourth.
Alex took us through that last sequence. Just wondered what you saw from the inbounds pass and how you were playing Jimmy up to the point where you made that decision once Miami helped over on you.
I felt like they were going to try to seal me over the top. I was able to get a hand on the ball. AC brought it up to me. DHO to me, Jimmy and Olenek doubled me. I went to AC and we missed a shot.
Dave?
LeBron, what's this time period like, do you think, for your teammates in terms of the pressure they may feel to try to take on more, considering there's no AD and there's no Schroeder? At the same time, you know, Kenny and Alex both mentioned, like, they want to take some load off your shoulders. They know that you're capable of carrying a lot, but they want to be doing their part. What's that like for your team to go through that kind of emotion or balance right now?
They are doing their part. They're doing their part and more. And every time we're on the floor, we're all trying to protect each other and bring each other up, you know, out on the floor every single night. You know, and it doesn't matter if you're making shots or not. You know, we are going to hold each other accountable. And everybody's just picking up in AD's absence. And obviously it hasn't been, you know, in wins the last two games, but, you know, we're going to keep on working our habits and continue to be great for one another.
Dan?
Ron, the shooting over the last 10 games or so, even pre-injuries, is really tailed off. Is there any reason for that or anything that you've seen, or is this just sort of over the course of the season, there's going to be highs and there are going to be lows?
No, I don't think there's any reason for that. You know, I think our guys do a great job of being in the gym. We all put in the work. And, you know, so it's not that. I mean, if it was that we weren't putting in work, then, you know, that would be the reason for it, or I could say that's a cause of it. So, you know, the law of averages will even itself out. And we had lapses last year at one point. We had it during the playoffs as well. And we just, you know, we knew we would find our rhythm and we'd do the same this year.
Kyle?
Hey, LeBron, when AC was talking about that last play, he kind of said, you know, I expected my defender to kind of follow off to me and they would guard LeBron one-on-one. You know, is it perhaps just more of a consequence that AD is not on the floor, that teams are more willing to double you? And do you see other guys on the floor with you kind of adjusting to that new reality?
No, I mean, my intentions when I came off that DHO was to let it go. You know, if they would have guarded me one-on-one and Jimmy would have stayed back or Older Nick didn't fight over the screen. But, you know, for me, you know, when you grab 2 on the ball and we had a great look to tie the game that's into overtime, AC had that. I think the only, you know, bad thing about it is that he shot a long 2. You know, I wish he would have shot a 3 and, you know, and make her miss. I live with that. So, but other than that, you know, it was a good look.
Melissa, last question, Melissa.
Hey, LeBron, throughout your career, you've been sort of a master at tweaking your game, giving each respective team that you played on what it needs, whether it's more ball handling, more shooting, more defense, whatever the case may be. What goes into being such a master at tweaking your game, and how are you so effective at that?
Just you know, staying open-minded about, you know, whatever my teammates need, whatever the coaching staff need, whatever the personnel that I'm playing with needs at that particular time, and you know, always just having always having a growth mindset. I think that's for my game, and not settling on what I am or who I am at that point in time. Being able to adjust to my teammates, be able to adjust to the I guess the coaching staff and the system that we want to play at that point in time. So. I think that's what it all boils down to, and you know, right now is another challenge for me to be able to adjust. You know, not having AD for a long period of time is something that we haven't had over the last year and a half, and now it's time for me to adjust again and see ways I can be even more effective to help this team win ball games, because that is the sport that we're in. We're in the winning business, and I've always been a winner. So it's time to click into that. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much, LJ.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Kyle. Mike, do you have a question? All right, Rashawn.
Hey, Kyle, how much more important is pace during this stretch now with no Schroeder, with no AD, in order for you guys to try to get some easier baskets?
I think it's very important for both units, first and second. Obviously, having Dennis out, you know, he's big with our pace. He's one of our downhill aggressors, and I think even more so with that second unit, when Bron's not on the court, you know, we as players and coaching staff need to figure out, you know, how best we can get that pace going. So,
Dave.
Kyle, what's the challenge like, knowing that you're going through this period with no AD and no Dennis, and LeBron can do a lot, but ultimately your stated goal is to win a championship, and maybe you want to not have him overwork himself for this time period. What's it like being teammates of LeBron's during this time to make sure you guys are all doing your part while he's not doing more than his part?
it's the biggest thing for us is obviously we have 2 starters out. You know, I think it's just huge for us to just continue having good winning habits. I think that's just the biggest thing during this time, win or loss. Obviously, you want to try to go out and win every game, but if we can come out and everybody just contribute from, you know, winning good habits, I think we'll be all right. You know, especially just carrying that over to when those guys get back, you know, will make us a stronger team.
Dan?
Kyle, defensively, what changed, do you think, after the first quarter? It seemed like they were able to get to the rim kind of whenever they wanted in that first quarter. And is there anything that you guys can build on that side of the ball, especially knowing that you're down pretty potent offensive players?
I think we just had our antennas turned on a little bit more. I think that first quarter they scored 36 to 40 points, 1 and 2. And I mean, obviously that's a hell of a lot of points. And, you know, for us through 3 quarters to hold them under 100, I think we did a great job defensively throughout the game outside of that first quarter. You know, and our biggest issue was, you know, offense, you know, put guys in position and figure out what we are going to do on the court, you know, during this time without, you know, AD and Schroeder and, you know, figuring things out. You know, so I don't really think defense was too much of the issue.
We'll take 3 more. Jovan?
Hey, Kuz, with the loss, you guys dropped to the 3 seed, and I'm curious, you know, 31 or 32 games in, how important is seeding for you guys, and how do you kind of view that at this point in the season?
I mean, I don't really know. It's not as imperative as, you know, past years. You know, it's not really a home court advantage. You know, and regardless, you know, if you want to go get to the finals, you're going to have to play, you know, the Clippers, or you're going to have to play Jazz. You're going to play somebody that's up there. So it doesn't really matter too much. You know, Brown was a 4 seed, I think, his last year in Cleveland, and went to the finals. It doesn't matter. So.
Nick?
Kyle, KCP talked about just the team the last couple of games coming out flat. How do you go about changing your energy and having that same type of intensity that you had in the first 3 quarters tonight?
Yeah, like I kind of just said earlier, it's just about turning our antennas on a little bit more and being more heightened at the jump. You know, obviously when game starts, you know, you're more lackadaisical. You know, not saying that's a bad thing, but just saying just how the rhythm of the game goes. You know, you're getting into it, you're flowing kind of upwards, and you know, for us, it's a challenge to you know, hit the ground running, and that's something that we've consistently been trying to do all year. And you know, we'll get there. We're still meshing as a team, chemistry, brand new team. Yeah, you know, we'll get there.
Last question, Claudia.
Hey, Kyle. These games obviously looks like they're being more physical with the loss of the 2 guys. Is that something you guys talk about and prepare every game?
You know, we just try to go out there and play as hard as possible. You know, we always try to be a physically opposing team. Obviously, we have a lot of great size. We have a lot of length, athleticism, and for us, that's one of our strengths. You know, anytime we can play in the paint, be physical over screens, you know, be physical in the post, it always bodes well for us.
Thanks.
Thank you, Kyle, for your time.
Yep.
Thanks, Kyle.
Yep.
Thanks, everyone. Have a good evening.